Thanksgiving turkey wasn't always the star of the feast. In early colonial times, venison and duck were far more common on the table. The turkey only rose to prominence in the 1800s when American writers like Sarah Josepha Hale romanticized it as a symbol of unity. By Lincoln's proclamation in 1863, turkey became a symbol of gratitude and identity, not just dinner. Yet behind the bird lies a story of invention, myth-making, and nation-building through food. Every slice of turkey tells how America cooked its ideals into tradition. Even the gravy carries echoes of early European sauces adapted from wild game. This short explores how nostalgia, literature, and politics shaped your plate. It's not just history, it's the story of how food became memory. And the turkey? It's America's most carefully constructed myth. Forget the picture-perfect feast. The first Thanksgiving was rough, smoky, and improvised. The Wampanoag brought venison, corn, and shellfish, not mashed potatoes or pie. Pilgrims celebrated survival, not abundance, and their gratitude came with exhaustion and relief. There were no fancy tables or cranberry sauce, just shared food between two struggling peoples. The moment was about coexistence, not consumption. Historians believe it lasted 3 days of cooking, eating, and wary peace. Later retellings turned that into a myth of unity and faith. This short reveals how much of Thanksgiving's image was rewritten centuries later. The truth is raw, human, and far more meaningful. Cranberries weren't a side dish, they were survival food. Native Americans dried and sweetened them for energy long before settlers arrived. Early colonists learned to use the tart fruit for its natural preservative power. By the 19th century, cranberries became a patriotic food, grown mostly in New England. The red sauce on your plate is a story of trade, adaptation, and endurance. Every spoonful echoes the first interactions between two worlds. Cranberries symbolized not comfort but resilience. They connected the wilderness to the hearth. Thanksgiving just gave them a stage. Pumpkin pie feels timeless, but it's actually a modern myth. The Pilgrims didn't have flour or ovens for baking pies in 1621. They roasted pumpkin filled with milk and honey over open fires instead. The pie we know emerged in the late 1700s, shaped by American cookbooks. It became a symbol of domestic peace after the Civil War. Each slice now represents stability, not survival. The story of Thanksgiving pie is one of cultural reinvention. We didn't inherit it, we built it, and that's what makes it sweet. Stuffing tells us what Thanksgiving really celebrates: resourcefulness. In early America, nothing went to waste, not even stale bread or leftover meat. Stuffing symbolized thrift, blending old and new in one humble dish. It evolved from medieval recipes that mixed grains, herbs, and broth. Over time, regional flavors turned it into a cultural mirror. Cornbread in the South, sourdough in New England, identity baked in. This one-side dish tells the story of migration and memory. Each spoonful connects us to ancestors who made do with less. It's Thanksgiving's quiet masterpiece. Thanksgiving wasn't a national holiday until the middle of the Civil War. For over 2 centuries, different states celebrated on different days. Sarah Josepha Hale, the editor of Godey's Lady's Book, wrote letters for 17 years urging unity through a shared feast. In 1863, Abraham Lincoln finally declared it a national holiday to heal a divided nation. It wasn't about food, it was about identity. The holiday became a symbol of reconciliation wrapped in comfort. Even the recipes were chosen for their simplicity and shared memory. Thanksgiving united people before they ever sat down to dinner. History made the meal, not the other way around. Behind the cheerful feast lies a more complex past. Thanksgiving was once used to reinforce unity during conflict, even at the expense of truth. Many native voices were erased as the story was retold for national comfort. The Wampanoag people's perspective tells a very different story, one of loss and endurance. Food became a language of both gratitude and grief. Every corn kernel and roasted bird carried historical weight. This short doesn't condemn the day, it completes it. Because real gratitude begins with remembrance. History tastes better when it's honest. Sweet potatoes tell a story of migration and transformation. They came to North America through the transatlantic trade routes, finding new roots in southern soil. African American cooks elevated them with spices and sugar into candied yams. By the 20th century, they symbolized heritage and generosity. Every caramelized edge carries history from both sides of the ocean. It's comfort food born of displacement and creativity. Thanksgiving turned that resilience into celebration. The dish became memory, legacy, and love in one bite. Sweetness became survival. Before pies and gravy, Thanksgiving was about survival. Cornbread and beans were the real staples that kept settlers alive. Native American crops known as the Three Sisters, corn, beans, and squash, sustained whole communities. That combination symbolized balance and interdependence. As luxury foods replaced them, their meaning faded from memory. But the essence of Thanksgiving remains in that simplicity. Every crumb of cornbread recalls gratitude born from hunger. This short reclaims the original heart of the holiday. Because survival, not abundance, started it all. Before soda or wine, Thanksgiving tables once held cider. Colonial families brewed it year-round because water wasn't always safe to drink. Apple cider became a symbol of purity, community, and the harvest. When Prohibition hit, its legacy faded into sweetness and nostalgia. Today, cider is returning as a craft revival of old American roots. It connects modern drinkers with a simpler past. Thanksgiving cider wasn't just a drink, it was a ritual. Every sip was gratitude distilled. And maybe it still is.